Annabeth glared at me like she was going to punch me, and then she did something that surprised me even more. She kissed me. "Be careful, seaweed brain." She put on her hat and vanished. I probably would have sat there for the rest of the day staring at the lava and trying to remember my name, but the sea demons jarred me back to reality. "There!" one yelled. The entire class of Telekines charged across the bridge towards me. I ran for the middle of the platform, surprising the four elder sea demons so much they dropped the red-hot blade. It was about 6 feet long and curved like a crescent moon. I'd seen a lot of terrifying things, but this unfinished whatever it was scared me worse. The elder demons got over their surprise quickly. There were 4 ramps leading off the platform, and before I could dash in any direction, each one of them had covered an exit. The tallest one snarled, "What have we here? A son of Poseidon!" "Yes," another growled. "I can smell the sea in his blood." I raised Riptide. My head was pounding. "Strike us down, demigod," third demon said, "and the rest shall tear you to shreds. Your father betrayed us. He took our gift and said nothing as we were cast into the pit. We will see him sliced to pieces, he and all the other Olympians." I wished I had a plan. I wish I hadn't been lying to Annabeth. I wanted her to get to safety, and I hoped that she'd been sensible enough to do it. But now it was dawning on me that this might be the place that I would die. No prophecies for me. I'd get overrun in the heat of the volcano by a pack of dog-faced sea lion people. The young Telekines were at the platform now too, snarling and waiting to see how their 4 elders would deal with me. I felt something burning against the side of my leg. The ice whistle in my pocket was getting colder. If I ever needed help, now was the time. But I hesitated. I didn't trust Quintus's gift. Before I could make up my mind, the tallest Telekine said, "Let's see how strong he is. Let's see how long it takes him to burn." He scooped up some lava out of the nearest furnace. It set his fingers ablaze, but it didn't seem to bother him at all. The other elder Telekines did the same. The first one threw a molten glob of rock at me, and it set my pants on fire. 2 more splattered across my chest. I dropped my sword in sheer terror and swatted at my clothes. Fire was engulfing me. Strangely, it felt only warm at first, but it was getting hotter by the instant. "Your father's nature protects you," one said. "Makes you hard to burn, but not impossible, youngling. Not impossible." They threw more lava at me, and I remember screaming. My whole body was on fire. The pain was worse than anything I'd ever felt. I was being consumed. I crumbled to the metal floor and heard the sea demon children howling in delight. Then I remembered the voice of the river naiad at the ranch. "The water is within me." I needed the sea. I felt a tonguing sensation in my gut, but I had nothing around to help me. Not a faucet or a river. Not even a petrified seashell this time. And besides, the last time I'd unleashed my power at the stables, there'd been that scary moment where it almost gotten away from me. I had no choice. I called to the sea. I reached inside myself, remembered the waves and the currents, the endless power of the ocean, and I let it loose in one horrible scream. Afterward, I can never describe what happened. An explosion, a tidal wave, a whirlwind of power immensely catching up and blasting me downward towards the lava. Fire and water collided, superheated steam, and I shot upward from the heat of the volcano in a huge explosion. Just one piece of flotsam thrown free by 1,000,000 pounds of pressure. The last thing I remember before losing consciousness was flying. Flying so high Zeus would never have forgiven me. And then beginning to fall. Smoke and fire and water streaming from me. I was a comet hurtling towards the earth. Chapter 12. I take a permanent vacation. I woke up feeling like I was still on fire. My skin stung. My throat felt as dry as sand. I saw blue sky and trees above me. I heard a fountain gurgling, and I smelled juniper and cedar, and a bunch of other sweet-scented plants. I heard waves, too, gently lapping on a rocky shore. I wondered if I was dead, but I knew better. I'd been to the land of the dead, and there was no blue sky. I tried to sit up. My muscles felt like they were melting. "Stay still," a girl's voice said. "You're too weak to rise." She laid a cool cloth across my forehead. A bronze spoon hovered over me, and liquid was dribbled into my mouth. The drink soothed my throat and left a warm, chocolatey aftertaste. Nectar of the gods. Then the girl's face appeared above me. She had almond eyes and caramel-colored hair braided over one shoulder. She was 15, 16, it was hard to tell. She had one of those faces that just seemed timeless. She began singing, and my pain dissolved. She was working magic. I could feel her music sinking into my skin, healing and repairing my burns.